Well, if you're on your feet, you'll know that's the national anthem of the People's Republic of China. And officially, it's the anthem of Hong Kong too. But some Hong Kong citizens object to that, refuse to stand up for it, or they turn their backs when it's played. Well, now the Beijing government plans to impose jail terms of up to 3 years on those who disrespect the anthem. Tom Grundy is editor-in-chief at the Hong Kong Free Press.
In terms of what this bill actually says, for those who willfully, publicly, online or offline, alter the national anthem, perform or sing it in a distorted or derogatory way, or insults it in any other manner, they risk 3 years in prison or a fine. And pro-democracy lawmakers have criticised this as being vague, this idea of any other manner being quite broad. Schools will have to teach the anthem, including schools for the disabled and international schools, which has raised some eyebrows. But today, the first 2 readings went ahead at the legislature with little protest within, but there was a protest outside by activist Joshua Wong's pro-democracy group, Demosisto. They climbed a flag-raising podium outside the government headquarters and unfurled a banner saying the freedom not to praise.
And when do people disrespect? I think football games, that's one example.
Yeah, as for the timing, this comes after a spate of instances where the anthem was booed at football matches. It's also played on TV and at Hong Kong's racecourse, so it'll be interesting to see whether people will be expected to stand up and act solemnly in these settings. But the government has said that, it will be very clear, and it is simply a case of people respecting the national anthem. They won't accidentally be caught up in the legal net, as it were.
So what does that mean? Because it looks like an opportunity for further repression of anybody who has an unconventional view of Hong Kong's future.
Yeah, I'm sure people will want to test this law. It's not going to be backdated or retroactive, so I imagine some activists will be doing their best perhaps to mock the anthem before then, and maybe some testing the law when it kicks in. But for activists we spoke to this morning, they said they'll be staging protests and direct action throughout the coming months in what could be, I guess, the biggest legal encroachment yet on free speech in Hong Kong, where that right is meant to be enshrined.
What happened to one country, two systems?
In the wider picture, Hong Kong is meant to be highly autonomous. This is coming during an accelerating encroachment by Beijing over what's meant to be a highly autonomous city. Since the 2014 umbrella movement pro-democracy protests, we've seen lawmakers ousted from the parliament, candidates barred from running, a political party banned, and of course those headlines a few years back of some booksellers allegedly kidnapped by China. So this new law is framed as yet another incursion by Beijing as it tightens the screws on the city.
Is there a danger, though, Tom, that as journalists we're getting excited about a minority who cause headlines and will protest, but the majority of Hong Kongers really won't see this as anything to worry about?
Well, that's exactly what the Secretary for Mainland Affairs, Patrick Nip, said today, that it won't affect the daily lives of regular Hong Kongers. And it's true, you're not seeing thousands of people protesting against this, and Democrats at the moment seem to be saving their energy as the bill proceeds through the local parliament. But activist Ivan Lam, who we spoke to this morning, says that this is an attempt at thought police. And Joshua Wong, who is certainly internationally the face of opposition in Hong Kong, told us that he thinks this law will restrict free expression and that he hopes the international community will speak up against it, as he spoke also of what's happening in Taiwan, Tibet and Xinjiang.
That's Tom Grundy, editor-in-chief at the Hong Kong Free Press.